time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Tuesday to you and everyone that is joining in with you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're joining us live, welcome to Story Time. Please, as always, let me know where you're joining us from and who is joining in with you. And if it is your first time, please do let us know where you are and, of course, who is joining in with you. Thank you so much for being here. We have an amazing book, amazing author visiting us today, and we will be reading My First Best Cousin Friend. Yes, find out what this one is all about. Khay, Lala, Bookie, and Gabby. Yes, the first in the series. Welcome to Storytime, and thank you so much for joining in. And as you know, author Lynn C is here with us to talk more about this book and more about her work. So we'll be finding out more about that. But welcome to Storytime. Thank you for joining in. And as you know, this week we have an amazing lineup of books and authors talking about all their creations. Thank you for making the time to join us. Thank you for bringing the little ones to read and listen to great books, and also hopefully you're chasing them at the library later on. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. Where are you? How is the weather out in your space? Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to Storytime. Let us see who is here with us this morning, ready to enjoy this lovely story and, of course, listening to a great conversation with Lynn C. Good morning to you, Amanda West, and of course Sarah and Nathan out in Illinois. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. And you say, these are some beautiful illustrations. Absolutely. Wait until we get the full bouquet, the full range of the book. But thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you're here. Thank you. Sarah and Nathan, always a keen eye. Thank you so much. And of course, appreciate you. Good morning to you, Amanda West, as well. Yes, indeed. Beautiful illustrations await and a beautiful story to match. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you, Martin Troop. How are you doing today? You say, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Martin. And thank you for letting us know that you're joining us from Houston, H-Town in the house. Well, good to know. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And Martin, please do let me know who else is joining in with you. If you have other people joining in with you, so we can say good morning to them as well. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you one more time, Martin in Houston. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Benjamin. How are you doing out in Lusaka, Zambia? And of course, Sheba Chanda. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. I hope you've all had your nshima and are ready for a good story. Do not fall asleep yet. We have a great one for you. Thank you so much for joining in, Sheba Chanda. And of course, Benjamin, how are you doing today? Isabella, good morning to you. And of course, Luis, Leslie, and Danny right here in Oakland. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, indeed. We're also representing our town. Thank you so much for being here. Houston, Oakland in the house. Yes, indeed. And people out in Illinois. Thank you so much for joining in. Bonavi Thomas, how are you doing out in Barbados? Good to see you here, my sister. Thank you so much for joining in, and congratulations on your new book. Cannot wait to read it. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing out there? Hope it is sunny and you are enjoying it. Good morning to you, Doreen. Yes, indeed. How are you doing today? Thank you for being here and saying good morning from Rocco. Well, Rocco, thank you so much for joining us. And you're in your home in El Salvador. Beautiful sunny day, waiting for the afternoon rain. Well, that sounds so beautiful. It sounds like a storybook right there. Thank you so much for being here and welcome. Thank you for joining us, Doreen and Rocco, out in El Salvador. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, without much ado, please join me in welcoming our author today, Lynn C. Page, to the Storytime platform. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing, Lynn?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's such a pleasure, such an honor. I'm glad you're here. Where are you joining us from today, Lynn?
I live in Sugar Land, Texas, which is about 45 minutes outside of Houston.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you so much. I love that name, Sugarland. Well, I know that you have a whole palooza happening right now.
I do a reading palooza. I think reading is really important to me, my family. And so when I wrote this book and having a book launch, I thought, it's about cousins. Cousins Day is coming up. Maybe every day leading up to cousins, I'll have somebody read it from a different city or a different country, and it'll just be a reading palooza.
Yeah, and I'll put up some of it. I know it's not the biggest, but
Yes.
We have that. You have the different.
So tomorrow I have Wilma Impello reading from Florida. She's in Port St. Lucie, Florida. She's going to be reading there from the library. Then I have Damon Hinton. He is in St. Louis. And
oh, yes, I love it.
Over a film school. And so the kids are going to try to reenact the book from St. Louis. And
then, awesome.
Yes. And then on Thursday, I have Brianna and her cousins. They are going to read the book live, and they're going to do a bedtime story time.
Oh.
And Saturday, me again. Saturday morning, I just got story time with Riri from Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then at night, I'm going to do the bedtime.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that bit. And I know that there's so much happening, and really honored to be here today to have you here.
Thank you. No, thank you very much.
Wonderful. But we have our book, and this one is My First Best Cousin Friend.
Yes. In life, a lot of times your first cousin is your best friend, or your best friend may be your first cousin. And so this wonderful book it was just the confusion of, you're my best friend, but I didn't know you were my first cousin. What is a first cousin?
Yeah, no, well, let's get into the book, and then we'll be back for sure, Lynn, to talk a little bit more about the book. I know, for example, Sarah is excited about the illustration, so let's see what she thinks
so much. Yes, I did the illustrations. That's my background, actually, as a graphic designer. And so I really wanted to take care and make it vibrant and fun to look at.
Awesome. Well, let's get started, and we'll have you back in a second.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So you've gotten to meet our author, Lynn C. Page, and we will be reading this wonderful book that she's both illustrated and written. She is the author and illustrator of this wonderful, wonderful book, Khay, Bookie, and Gabby, The Adventures of Khay, Bookie, and Gabby, and My First Best Cousin Friend. Written and illustrated by Lynn C. Page. Here we go. The Adventures of Khay, Bookie, and Gabby, My First Best Cousin Friend. Written and illustrated by Lynn C. Page. My name is Kayla with an H. It is not spelled wrong, just different. My mommy calls me Bookie. Sometimes she calls me Kayla Bookie, but you can just call me Lala. It is not as kooky. There's so much joy and color in those pictures. I'll hold on just a bit so you can enjoy them. This is Gabrielle. She is my best friend. Last summer, Gabby and her mom moved back to her family's home in the Virgin Islands. She told me on the island of St. Croix, they call her Gabby Goo, but I call her Gabby, and you can too. At bedtime, I'm so excited I can't sleep. I have unicorns dancing in my head. Tomorrow, Gabby is coming for the whole summer. That's what my mommy said. As mommy tucks me in and kisses me goodnight, she tells me that Gabby is not my best friend, but my first cousin. Oh no, what a fright. I thought Gabby was my best friend, and this summer would get to play and run. I wonder what is a first cousin? What is a first cousins? And do they like to have fun? Or do they? Oh. Look, Gabby is here. I have really missed her. When we get together, we act just like sisters. I have so many questions about being first cousins. I wonder if it is a really big deal. I will just ask Gabby after she gets out of the automobile. What do you think? Is it a big deal being first cousins? As soon as the car stops, whoosh, Gabby's on her way. Her first stop, the playground on the first day. I didn't get a chance to ask her about being first cousins. She is skating too fast. I guess Gabby is in a hurry to see some old friends from the past. Oh. I hop on my bike and pedal fast as I can to follow. I grip my handlebars and I take off like the Apollo. Wow, I can hardly see Gabby anymore. Maybe we're first cousins because we both like going faster than ever before. Oh. At the playground, we see lots of friends that want to play. We try to do a quadrillion things all in the first day. Then we all hear music that stops us right in our tracks. Hey, Gabby, I yelled. It's the ice cream man. Let's go back. Gabby orders a double scoop with a cherry on top. Wow, it is so big. I hope it doesn't drop. Wow, it's my turn, and I think I will have the same. Maybe we're first cousins because we both like strawberry ice cream. What do you think? Next, we hunt for ladybugs in the backyard. Gabby looks through the magnifying glass while getting close to the ground. Oh, looky of what we found. Maybe first cousins like to hunt for ladybugs together. Gabby and I love to play hula hoops, but it's hard to keep the hula hoop around my waist. Gabby says the more you practice, the better you get. Wow, what a nice thing for Gabby to say. I wonder, will first cousins always help each other? Will they? Mommy makes a pot of pasta Mardi Gras. Shrimp, noodles, and sausage. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? Yummy. It's like there's a party in my mouth with the dancing noodles in my tummy. But Gabby sticks out her tongue and says, ew, yucky. I guess first cousins don't like Creole cooking. That means more for me. I am lucky. Oh, Mommy says, okay, girls, you had a full day of play. It's time to take a bath to wash the day away. We race to the bathroom to get super clean. Will first cousins still like making bubble crowns? Oh, yes, the best the world has ever seen. Oh. I think about the day. I think about the day and all the adventures we just had. I know I should be happy, but I am feeling a little sad. I have a confusing feeling inside me that I just can't ignore. I still don't understand why Gabby is not my best friend anymore. Aww. As Gabby and I get ready for bed, I finally tell her what Mommy said. The words came out one after another. Gabby, you can't be my best friend anymore because we're first cousins to each other. What do you think Gabby's reaction will be? Gabby smiled and said, "Oh, Lala, it's going to be okay. My daddy and your mommy are sister and brother, and that's what makes us first cousins to each other." And then Gabby says something I will never forget. We're first cousins connected heart to heart. Distance and time can't break us apart. No, they cannot. Gabby is more than my bestest friend. She is more than my first cousin too. Gabby is my first best cousin friend. Oh, how is that? And that's something new. I am happy again, and it feels good to know that Gabby and I have more adventures as first best cousin friends tomorrow. But tonight, first cousins will pillow fight. Oh, the end. Oh, beautiful, beautiful book. I hope you enjoyed that one. My first best cousin friend. Well, let's welcome back Lynn. Oh my goodness, wonderful book.
Thank you so much. My second person reading the book live. I am so excited. You did such a wonderful job on it.
Oh, thank you. No, it is such a lovely book. I enjoyed it. And Sarah, I hope you enjoyed the illustrations of the book as well. So Lynn, just, before maybe we even go into the book, who is Lynn?
That's always so hard to explain. I feel like I'm so many things, but I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a third generation entrepreneur, and I that's who I am, and I love learning new things. And I always tell people I have my PhD in YouTube learning. So anything I don't know, I go to YouTube and I learn. And so during COVID, I became an author and illustrator.
And this came up. So how have you always been an author illustrator? You say have you always been author illustrator, or how did this come about?
Well, my daughter, who is Khay Lala Bookie, is 30 now, but when she was young, I had this story in my heart because the girls would always say they were best friends, and we would try to explain to them, well, you're more than that. You're first cousins. And an incident happened with my grandchild. The same thing happened. He was saying his first cousins were his best friends. And we were like, no, they're your first cousins. And the look on his face was almost reminiscent of my daughter, and the look on her face, the confusion of, because we didn't explain. And you're thinking, but I know what a best friend is, but I don't know what a first cousin is. And how is that different? And so the book just kind of unfolded of what makes it a difference,
That is so true. And I know that you've mentioned the Palooza. There's so much going on. When is National Cousins Day? Because I know that
it's actually Saturday, July the 24th.
July the 24th. Yeah, and for everybody just out there, yes, Cousins Day is coming up. So reach out to those cousins, say hi, check on them. And
with them.
Yeah, you mentioned, this book is in a way a dedication to family too. Like it talks about family, it talks about friendship. So for you, like in your description of the book, you talk about that quite heavily. How have those shaped you?
Yes, well, I think as an adult writing the book, I'm better explaining words. We as adults, we already know what they mean, but when we're talking to children, and this is how it really made me who I am and helps me today, when I say something, I try to give an explanation because they don't know. And the only way to know is to learn.
So true. And why is family and friendships, why are those important to you?
Like with everybody. I mean, when you're up, they're happy and they're there for you. When you're down, they're there for you. Family's just really important. You can lean on them. Everybody look at the book, read the book, look at the pictures, you know, not just in a book, but in my whole life. You know, everything that I've ever done, I've always included my family. And it's very important to me.
Oh, that's wonderful. No, I can clearly see that in here too. And even from your dedications, I know that there's several people that you mentioned in there. And I was particularly interested too. I mean, I thought they were all great, but also you mentioned your bestest friend, Wilhelmina Fingerhofen. And I was just wondering too, like, so.
She's reading tomorrow.
That's awesome. And so just in that vein too, I had a question for you, which is like, how are family friendships different from friendships? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So my sister's a little older than me. And so she moved away. And so I didn't have that girl friendship network with her. So having other girlfriends and almost become your family. I mean, I'm of an age where I can truly say I've had friends for 40 years. And even though we don't talk every day, when we talk, we can pick up right where we left
off. Yeah.
It helps shape who you are. It's just, you can bounce ideas off of them. You're with them. They're with you with the good times and the bad times.
Right. No, it's so true. And I feel like for me, being away from my friends and my cousins right now in Zambia has been.
You can imagine.
It's been hard, but also like with social media and everything, I've been able to keep up with what's going on. And so when I go back, I'm not too far behind on what's happening, but I totally hear you. And I have one that is, it's interesting because I think you mentioned in there for Wilhelmina, you say, you have shown, who proves to you that you do not have to be blood related to be family. And there's, like we hear blood is thicker than water. And then there's a saying in one of the languages back in Zambia, it's called Bemba, and they say, it's like basically friendship that can become stronger than family. And so just wondering to you, like, how do those two come together? Like blood is thicker than water, or friendships that are stronger than blood? Is there such a thing, or would you?
No, I believe that when you're born, sometimes you have blood family, and then some people you connect with instantly. I'm sure it's happened to everybody listening. You connect with someone instantly, and either they may become your husband or they may become your best friend. And she and I have been, I can't even tell you, we were laughing, and I don't even want to share the crazy stories, but as young kids, we were taking, this one story.
Yeah.
Taking the crystals off of the chandeliers and trying to wear them as earrings. And my mother was like, have y'all lost your mind? So that's how long we've been knowing each other.
Yeah.
Kindred spirits and been friends, forever. And so is there a difference with blood and friends? No, to me, it's really what's in your heart and what's in your mind.
No, so true. And like one of the things I think I've mentioned at times, because I grew up with a lot of cousins, a lot. Like they are my brothers, like my sisters. Even now we're still up on groups together. And when I go home, they'll be the first one to meet me at the airport. They'll be the first one to do things together. So just I am so happy of those relationships. And sometimes when growing up, I would wonder, like, would it have been better just growing up myself and my mom and maybe just my sisters? But then I realized over time, like the gift that I've gotten from knowing those people, knowing my cousins, has just been, I think, surpasses anything more than what I would have thought. So it's just a really, powerful message that you have there. And it's just bringing up all these.
Yeah, I have chat, now with all of my cousins, and we were just laughing that my father, all of their mothers are fathers are, related, and 9 of them. And so every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, we would go out to our grandmother's house and see each other. But when our grandmother passed, there was nothing to kind of hold us together. And so we had to figure out a way to still hold us together. And our kids knew each other. And that's a hard thing, that is.
Right. And Lynn, before I go on with some of the other questions that I have, I know that people are showing you, like love in the comments there. So just wanted to check out how many they're saying, welcome to the Storytime community. Thank you for sharing your wonderful book. Absolutely. And then there's the girls' adventures, shared adventures, and the powerful bond of cousins.
Yes. Wait, say that again. I didn't hear you.
There's the girls' shared adventures and the powerful bond of cousins.
Of cousins, yes. And I have 4 more adventures inside of me, 4 Khay, Lala, Bookie, and Gabby Goo. And they will go on other adventures.
Cannot wait. And then Martin Troop there saying great story. And and Martin, I think, said he's in Houston.
Yeah.
And then Fiona, who's out in Denmark, is saying, lovely book, Lynn.
Wow,
Really enjoyed it. Yeah, and she has her little ones with her as well. Mirai and Marissa. There we go. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
And also Bonavi Thomas, who's an author from Zambia originally, now in Barbados, and she's just saying, love the illustration.
Beautiful in Barbados. I'd love to come and read.
Right. I always, whenever I see Bonavi Thomas, I'm just like, oh my goodness, you're living in paradise. Yeah, and then Martin again says the colors are so bright and vivid, and great job. And how did you decide? I mean, I know you mentioned at the beginning, but how did you decide to go with these colors and just it's so vibrant?
Hard. Thank you. It was hard because I wanted to keep it neutral, but it's really hard when you have them about little girls. So I know you asked little girls, and that was what I did. What's your favorite thing? And they're like rainbows, unicorns. So I just wanted to keep it really fun and nice and vivid.
No, it is. You did an amazing job. It definitely comes
Thank
through.
you so much. Yeah, it took me about a good year to go back and forth. I had never done it before, but it took about a year. And then I sat on the book since March, and I just started releasing the book now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And that's also interesting to see how long the work has taken.
The process. It's a process.
Yeah.
You do it, and then you kind of walk away from it. You go back to your everyday life. And when you think of something, I went back to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you mentioned everyday life in there. So I'm curious about that. I know that you mentioned being a graphic designer. So, and I think I can't remember if you had mentioned being an engineer as well. So like, how was that timeline, or how did this all come together?
Okay.
Did you grow up in Sugarland?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I grew up in Houston. I'm a Houstonian.
Uh-huh.
I'm a 3rd generation entrepreneur. So my grandfather had a barbershop back in the 30s. He had 10 chairs, 10 people working for him. Then my father was an entrepreneur. He tried many different things, from bar supplies to a sporting good. And I think the thing he's well known for is his the newspaper and the nightclub. And so that was my upbringing. And my brother has a newspaper, Houston Style Magazine. And, I cut my teeth on both companies, and I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be an entrepreneur too. So I have a small marketing firm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, no, that's so how many clients do you have, Michael?
Well, COVID really hurt, of course. But I have enough clients to sustain me. And I always make pretty things for everybody else. And during COVID, because, of the downsides during COVID, I said, let me see if I can turn some of that pretty talent and see what I can do for myself.
No, this is wonderful. And I'm just going to, I know that you have a bunch of like things that you've created, activity books. Let me just see if I can showcase some of that. Like we have this one, for example, right?
Coloring book. So again, it's unicorns. My little granddaughter, she loves unicorns. We even got her a pool with unicorns. You know, everything is unicorns. So I said, oh, well, Lala, Bookie, and Gabby needs to have a coloring unicorn book.
Yeah.
And then the big activity book as well.
Yeah. And where can people find these?
They can find them on Amazon.
Okay.
If they put type in the author, me, Lynn Page, all of my books will show up.
Awesome. And also they can find you on Books by Lynn, right? On Facebook, your Facebook page. So please do follow Lynn on there. See you can see all that is happening with Gabby Goo and Khay, Lala, Bookie. And then I know that you also have this one. What is the difference between the two?
Okay, so the coloring book is just coloring book of unicorns. The adventures activity books is mazes, word search, connect the dots, picture puzzles, and a whole bunch more. Trace letters. Yeah.
Wow. No, that sounds amazing. I love it. And then I know that you had mentioned, you know, in your book, in the description of the book, you mentioned encourage the little ones to ask questions. How do we do that?
Well, it's hard. Like I said, as adults, we say things and kids look at us and they want to ask you a question. I think it's a two-way street. If you look down and you see your child kind of has a question on their face, say, do you understand? You know, and I think and then to tell them it's okay to ask questions. It's okay.
Yeah. Right. No, that's so true. And I think too, just to add to that, Lynn, it's for adults too. I think it's okay not to know.
Yes,
and be honest that you don't know. We don't have to know everything.
No.
we can. It's an opportunity to actually research stuff together. I'm telling you, I got some weird answers from some of my adults growing up, and I'm just like, now that I'm an adult, like, really? Did you say that to me?
I know, right? Or go to YouTube. That's my answer to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Do it. Go to YouTube. They'll show.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And I know too, like, you know, like your book just brings out all this happiness and joy and everything. But also you mentioned something earlier when we had talked and you'd said, you know, like, how was it growing up? And you had said some people have said that you were not Black enough, or it's like, how do things like that, like, how do you ride over things like that? Or how do you, you know, like take those things in stride and move on and still, you know, like knowing who you are?
Well, I want everybody to know that we as Black people come in all different shapes and sizes and experiences. When my daughter was young, I'm sad to say there weren't a lot of Black authors out there. The authors that were out there lived on the East Coast. And so it reflected their lives. And a lot of people lived in tenements or apartments or high rises. But, you know, you came to Houston. So, you know, in the South, you know, we have front yards, backyards, fences.
They do. If you're somewhere else, they do.
And so with this book, I just wanted kids to be kids and show the diversity in our family, the two different colors of the girls, but they're still, you know, first cousins. And to show, you know, the illustration, everybody keeps saying about the illustration, but it was really important to me to show front yard, backyard, a house, sidewalk, the kids skating, because that's what I see today in Sugar Land. When I look outside, the kids riding up and down the street, and that's how my kids were raised. My daughter was raised.
No, that's wonderful, because I know I've been, you know, like in different spaces, even at my own school, you know, you have all kinds of situations, reactions to different things, and
Yes.
sometimes even just like, oh well, you did not grow up here, so you don't understand what I'm going through, and just trying to see
Right.
like how can we still come together and learn from each other and just try to do the best we can, right?
We know seeing everything played out on social media or on, we know it doesn't matter from the lightest hue to the darkest hue, whether
Mm.
from the United States, Canada, Asia, it doesn't matter where you're from, you know, there is prejudices out there.
Mm.
So we just have to all unite as a people and say, we won't take it and stand for it and
Yeah.
attack each other. And
Yeah.
some, you know, black card that you have to have. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I appreciate that. And, you know, when you mentioned that, it was definitely something that I just thought was powerful and really touched my heart. And I just thought, you know, like people out there might want to share in that as well. And just thank you for that.
Okay, thank you.
And then too, like, you know,
But I did. Yeah.
yeah. No,
I just wanted to show a different light of little girls or little kids playing what I saw growing up. That's all.
Yeah.
My experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. No, thank you for sharing that. And then we have, you know, like, Martin's comment there led me into thinking, because it says, I called some of my cousins sister cousin and brother cousin. And so just wondering, like, in your writing of this book, did you come up with, and did you learn something new? Did you come up with more understanding of these sister cousins, brother cousin, and so on?
Yes. I mean, everyone, when they read the book, would share their experiences with their cousins and would say, this is so true. Even my own cousins, I'm going to say their names, Laretha and Yvette, you know, they would say that they were so close that they would say they were sister cousins. And so I never knew that because I'm a little older than them, but it was so heartwarming to hear them say that. And I was just like, wow, I didn't know that. So now to me, there's a new term, and I call it best cousin friend, my first friend. You'll hear a lot of kids start saying my best first cousin friend.
That is wonderful. It is definitely, you know, like I was looking at it the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, and yeah, totally makes sense.
A new phrase, hopefully.
No, it is definitely. And then, well, Banabi was just saying, please come to Barbados.
Oh,
if you can connect and figure out reading partnerships, I think it would be great.
I'm gonna bring Khay, Lala, Bookie, and Gabby Goo. They'll be
right. Go to Barbados. And it says, these will be great gifts for the holidays. So I was looking at that, and then I know that you have some things in the background, and I'm just going to do that. Are there any things that you wanted to show us that are there that you have? And you've made so many cute things. I love it.
I don't know if you can see it. Oh, so I have little necklace charms.
Yes.
And I even made, that one fell off. Sorry. Earring charms. I have the books. I have buttons. I am in the process of doing dolls, and I really want to make it a full experience. So it'll be a bedroom set, and that'll be ready in 7 days. So kids will be able to have a whole bedroom set, you know, from their sheets to their pillows to comforters. And I'm pretty excited about that. And where are the girls? There they are.
Yeah. And what are those candles?
No, there's just
those jars.
Say it again.
Are those jars the white containers?
Oh.
Yeah.
They're buttons.
Oh.
Buttons when I do the readings.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Oh.
Because of COVID, I was only able to do one reading for the whole thing, and because it was outdoors, everything else is virtual. So open up so I can give away the buttons and the necklace.
Right. Yeah, well, that's awesome. I love it. And you know, the book did come, and they come in this lovely holder, and yeah, I'll see if I can do a giveaway for this one, or when I do a reading. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Lynn, any, like any messages out there, families, friends, people, where can they find you? I know I'll be encouraging people to follow you on your Palooza as it's happening.
Yes,
Next meetings.
yes. Well, I'd like to say first, thank you, Peter.
No, you're welcome.
I told you I reached out to a lot of people, and he reached back, and he even talked to me. He said, I try to reach back out to everybody, and I said that's a good heart. That's when that's a good heart. And I want to say thank you.
No, thank you.
And I want to say thank you to my family, to my friends, for putting up with me. My narrow-minded was only Lala, Bookie, and Gabby Goo. And I just want to tell people if you have a story in your heart, write it. It doesn't matter if it becomes a bestseller or not. If it only touches one person, then you've done what you were supposed to do.
Right. That's so powerful. I appreciate that. And I think too that I know I have another Marietta and her boy Henry joining us from Harvard, and she is an illustrator, author too. And so just some love from there for sure as well. But hopefully you can go back, Marietta, and see what Lynn has done. It's such a lovely, lovely book. And I enjoyed it. And I hope that, this book ends up on many shelves.
Me too.
Many classrooms.
And again, thank you so much. Really, thank you. This was a wonderful experience.
No, I love it. Thank you so much for being here. And for those that just, will be joining in later on, watching the recorded, please remember, do follow Lynn page on her Facebook page so you can find out all that is happening. And of course, find her books. They are available on Amazon, and the activity books that we mentioned as well. So please do find them, and all the little trinkets that come with her books that are just lovely and cute. So please do take time to find those and enjoy them. But thank you so much, Lynn, for being here today on Storytime.
It was fun. Wasn't that hard?
No, I love it. And I hope that, we're here for more journeys with Khay, Bookie, and Gabby Goo. I want to see that. And I'm excited for them to be in Barbados one day.
Yes, we'll be in Barbados.
Well, thank you so much. And I hope, people, please do find Lynn and follow along this journey. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you in a bit. All right, everybody that joined in this morning, that was Lynn C. Page, an author coming out of Houston, but right now living in Sugar Land, Texas, and brought us this wonderful book, My First Best Cousin Friend. Yes, I'm definitely going to be using that one for sure. And that one is the first in the series of the adventures of Khay, Bookie, and Gabby Goo. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved it. Please always remember to request these books from your library. Your librarians, ask them to stock these books. Yes, all stories need to be heard. All stories need to be told. So let us make sure we ask our librarians for them. Share these books with your teachers, people in your community, so people know about the diverse range of books that are out there, and we can give our kids a wholesome learning and just definitely growing, and lots and lots of things out there. So thank you so much for joining in today. This has been Storytime. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you to everybody that joined in wherever you are. I wish you well, you and your loved ones, and of course, your entire community. Hugs and love from me. As always, I will see you back here tomorrow when we're bringing back New Baby Coming, New Baby Here. And I will be joined by Cheryl Smiley Oliphant joining us tomorrow to read that book. So thank you so much for being here. Please remember, every little thing that you do matters in your community. It might feel small to you. It might feel insignificant, but it does matter. It does make a difference. So thank you for being here, and much love from me. I will see you again here tomorrow. And my cousin, Vincent Kapotwe, joining in from Zambia. I just have to say hi to him. This one is my cousin brother. You know, we grew up together, been through trouble together, and just been through so much together. I love him to bits. And this book, my first best cousin friend, I think Vincent fits that bill totally. That's my young brother right there. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Vincent, I hope you're okay with the family, everybody, Vincent Jr., Naomi, and of course, Shasha. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I will see you again tomorrow. Hugs and kisses from me. Much love. Bye-bye.
Your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be